live across Australia. This is Ben, Liam and Belle's Late Drive
on Nova.
Give us a buzz, 13 24 10. What happened on the hens? Last week we did what happened at the Bucks. It seems only fair. Now we turn our attention to the hens. And Chantel has already given us a buzz. Chantel, good evening. Now this was your niece's hens. What happened?
We had some pre-drinks at my niece's house, and then we were making our way to town by the train station. And as 14 of us jumped into the lift, it went up like the slightest little bit, and then it just stopped. And then obviously you can imagine it was like panic stations with 14 screaming girls with a few jelly shots under their belts. So It was pretty full on.
And so you're all packed in there with your cowboy hats and your penis straws. Was it funny or was it scary?
It was actually a little bit of both. I think everyone was laughing at the start until we realised the buttons were no longer green. And then we started to carry on and scream. And then we hit the buttons to call security. They said, yeah, we can see you guys on the cameras. We're watching you in the lift as you're calling us. Some of the girls were like, stuff this, we're ringing the fireys. So we had fire engines, about 3 of them come out. It was pretty funny. A lot of the girls had roadies in their handbags. So they were still drinking in the lifts.
There's no danger of anyone having to pop a squat, was there?
Well, actually, no one popped a squat in the lift, but as soon as the doors cracked open, the hen actually ran across the road behind a bush so everybody could see.
Well, Chantel, thank you so much for sharing your story. If you have also got a story that you would like to share on Nova, 13 24 10, what happened at the hens?
Nikki in Sydney. Good evening. What happened at the hens?
Good evening, guys. So I was at a hens party one time, and the people that had organised it had organised secret truth and dares for everyone. So they organised the bride to do a dare, and it was going up the top of a fire truck ladder. So she's in this beautiful dress, climbs all the way up, almost gets to the top, slips and falls, slides all the way down, breaks both her legs. But the wedding was the next week, so she ended up keeping the date, and she was in a wheelchair the whole time.
Oh, so she was wheeled down the aisle. Oh, my God.
Yes, literally.
And, if that ended a massive sort of slut drop down a pole and she popped it at the bottom and everyone was like, it would have been the craziest thing ever. But obviously she didn't stick the landing and both legs just went snap.
Oh, it's memorable at least for the wedding. Thanks so much, Nikki. Sophie in Melbourne, what happened at the hens?
Hi, I went to a hens at an Airbnb because they got the bridal party to stay there. And there was a stripper. And after all the guests left, I found out that a few of the bridal party slept with the stripper and his driver.
Oh, and the driver. Oh, I mean, because you wonder what's in it for those guys. You know, the people just driving around the hunky dude. But
That's
there you go.
Keep the calls coming through for this one. What happened at the hens? Vicky in Adelaide, what happened?
At my friend's hens, one of the bridesmaids, she took her heels off halfway through because, her feet were sore, and she was walking through the city barefoot, and she ended up stepping on a giant piece of glass, and it pierced straight through her foot. And then one of the other girls who was at the hen, she was so drunk, she wasn't even thinking, she just yanked it out, and there was blood everywhere. The bridesmaid passed out, and we had to call an ambulance. She ended up in hospital and she had to have surgery because the glass pierced through, I think, some tendons and ligaments.
Oh,
man. It was crazy.
You know what? I have had that fear before because we've all been there. We've taken our heels off and you're strutting through the city being like, I'm invincible, it's fine. That sounds like a nightmare, having the actual glass going through.
I mean, it's either glass, syringe, or rat nibbles on barefoot. That's what you're going to get when you're walking through the city.
Vicky, thank you for sharing. Jessica in Brizzy, please tell us what happened at the hens.
Okay, so I was an event photographer at the time, and I was invited to a hens by my cousin. She organised the hens for the bride. I was just sort of taking my photos, and everyone was sort of having a good time, and then to be expected, a stripper arrived. And he was sort of doing his thing for 10 minutes or so. And then a group of like 3 to 4 guys come in and they're all just shirtless. And I'm just thinking, okay, this is obviously part of the show. But then one of the guys just started laying into the stripper and just started beating him up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and then everyone started freaking out. I'm so confused because I'm like, is this part of the show or like is he actually getting beaten up? But it turns out the bride and the groom agreed that they wouldn't have strippers, but my cousin organised it as a surprise. So then the sister messaged the brother and he came and beat the stripper up.
Right, and he came in shirtless. That's what I find so interesting about that story. He's like, right, boys, we're going to go over, we're going to bash this stripper who's getting paid to do his job, and we're all going to do it shirtless. We're going to look hotter than him, all right? I don't want any mercy, all right? We're going to smash this guy.
All right, ready to go, boys? Oil me up.
Yeah,
Going in.
Oil me up, fellas. It'll be harder for him to grab me in the fight, and I'll look good in front of all the Sheilas. What a legend. Arissa True, 14-year-old girl winning gold at the games, and her big secret of how she did it has been revealed by her coach.
Aussie skateboarder Arissa True got some crazy advice from her coach before going on to win Olympic gold. He said, skibbity sigma. While it might mean nothing to many people, it gave True the boost she needed to win gold. She said, it's just like a joke that I have with all my friends because sigma is like the top.
That's the most 14-year-old thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Her coach just whispered, skibbity sigma, which is something you'd see on TikTok a lot, like that sort of brain rot thing. And then she was like, yep, I've got it. I'm going to win gold.
I feel 400 years old because that makes 0 sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, Ben, because, you are a dad, you're 30 now. Maybe you're not around with the lingo with a lot of the kids. I'm only a couple of years younger, but I'm clinging on for dear life. So I'm on TikTok quite a little bit. And, I've adopted some of these catchphrases and words. So I thought maybe since it worked for Arissa, I could maybe give a bit of a rev-up to some of the athletes who are still competing so we could maybe get a few more golds.
Using a bit of brain rot.
Yeah, just so it makes sense to them because they're all so young these days, you know what I mean? If you're ready, can you hit the music there for me, Ben? You've spent 4 years tirelessly training for this, edging and gooning your way to glory. You've graduated from Riz Academy with honours, athletes strapped with bus and glizzies and level 10 Giats, no glaze. The whole world can see it. Baba Booey, the other nations are spinning on it if they think Australia's going to take an L in the chat. And soon enough, your opponents will break their mewing streaks and reveal themselves as mouth breathers, no cap. And whenever you feel like your back's up against the wall and you want to give up, just remember my next words and you will succeed. Grimace Shake Skabusi Chungus Quandale Dingle with the sauce. Now I'm going to let you cook because you're all locked in Sigmas with 1,000 aura points. Bring it home for Australia. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Do you think that will do the trick?
Yeah, I reckon that'll do something.
I hope so.
Yeah. Do you remember what I said? Grimace Shake Skabusi Chungus Quandale Dingle with the sauce. So you just remember that, guys. If you're ever feeling like a little down or whatever, you just think of that. And yeah, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Love rap. Bell's the love rap.
Yep, 13, 24, 10. We want to talk about nudes. But especially nudes gone wrong. If you've had a nude that's been seen by somebody that it shouldn't have or you accidentally sent it, 13, 24, 10. We got a DM on Instagram from Misha. She said, hey, Ben, Liam and Belle, love the show. Thought I'd share something hilarious with you that happened to me this week. Sometimes on Insta, I'll share a sexy snap of myself to my close friends story and put a select few guys on the list so only they see it. I've done that. I love that move.
Do
it's
people
the best.
do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've never
A lot
used
of
the
my friends do
close
it.
friends feature. In fact, I find sometimes when I'm on people's close friends, I'm like, I'm not that close with you. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I didn't know you like that. Like, why am I seeing the green ring here?
Oh, I've done this before where you put like a really kind of revealing picture, but you put it on close friends and then you just because you can select just like 2 people to see it, and then you can see when they've seen it.
Maybe now's a good time to bring up, Belle, can you take me off your close friends?
Well, so listen to Misha's story. Maybe, this is kind of true. She said, I did this as usual on the weekend, and unfortunately, I accidentally ticked my brother to be on the list because he has the same name as one of the guys I've been chatting to. It's the worst. I didn't realise until it was too late. 13, 24, 10, nudes gone wrong. Isabel in Melbourne, good evening. What was the nude and what happened?
Good evening. So I was going on a trip to Sydney with my mum for the weekend, and I put my phone on airplane mode, as you do, and when we landed, when we were still on the plane, I turned my phone off to send a message to my partner saying, landed, I'm safe, all is well. And little did I know, whilst it was on airplane mode, he sent me a bunch of nudes, and my mother saw it all.
Right. So you were just about to take off on the Jetstar flight and he thought, have one of them. You like that? Yeah, enjoy your trip in Sydney with your mum. This is what you're missing out on.
Okay.
Where did that come from?
Isabel, we're going to give you a $50 Uber Eats voucher for sharing. Thank you very much. Kate in Brizzy, nudes gone wrong. What happened?
Hi, guys. So I had sent some nudes to my husband, who was just my boyfriend at the time, and somehow they got uploaded onto his daughter's iPad from his phone through the cloud.
Oh, no.
And she was only about 8 or 9 at the time, so a little bit young. And she went and told her mother about it, and Mum, not being happy with the new girlfriend situation, called the police on us.
Whoa.
Yeah. And obviously,
Yeah.
there's things involved there with all of that.
You can see both sides of that for sure.
But it's a hard one to argue, especially now with your charge and all. And can't work around schools and that sort of thing anymore. But you can see what happened, but it's not a good thing.
Kate, we really appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much. Cooper in Melbourne, this was your partner. Nudes gone wrong.
Yeah, so pretty much my wife now, but partner at the time, she had given her old phone to her mum, and completely unaware that obviously the iCloud was still signed in, and saved a bunch of nudes to send, and then they had downloaded onto her mum's phone as well, and it was an awkward conversation when she was asking how her new phone has these explicit photos on them, even though it's a brand new phone. So it was a bit of an awkward one as well, because we couldn't play it off like it was somebody else because her face was clearly in the photo.
Right. Yes.
I mean, we could deep dive into just when did the iCloud get you? Because this is like...
Yeah, this is all just cloud stuff at the moment.
Cooper, just to specify, was it you nude on the phone or the daughter nude on the phone?
So it was the daughter, but the nudes were on her, on my wife.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And were they tasteful, Coop, or?
Well, to be honest, they weren't. I wasn't with my partner then, so they weren't with me. I just know the story through the grapevine. So I thought I better call the dobber in.
I don't know if I can break it to you, but I don't know if they were too tasteful.
They sounded nasty.
Real nasty. Anonymous in Brizzy. Nudes gone wrong. What happened?
I sent a nude to who I thought was my boyfriend at the time, but it was my female boss.
How?
I was a new graduate nurse. It was after a night duty. I was tired. Well, that was my excuse. And my boss was a lesbian as well. So a lot of the girls that I worked on the ward with at the time, to this day, still say that she probably kept that nude.
That sounds inappropriate. Was it a tasteful nude or was it nasty?
It was for my boyfriend, so not overly tasteful.
Okay.
Sounds like it was nasty.
Trent in Brisbane, what happened?
So I work in a pet store, and this customer was coming in and was showing me some of their fish illnesses, and was going to swipe through their album, and all of a sudden that's where the full-on photo came up of them in the act with their partner.
Whoa.
Right. And it's good that you could tell the difference, because if she was going through fish illness pictures and then you breezed straight through it and she went, whoop, then it would be a problem,
Trent,
obviously.
I bet you've seen some sick puppies in your time, but that might have taken it to another level.
I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah.
You got a joke you want to do, Belle? Liam did one, and I did one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was...
Go on.
Did you...
Come on, Belle. Belle's about to do a joke, guys. Hey, Anon in Adelaide. Just hang there. Bell's going to do a joke, okay?
Did she have any photos of her pussy?
Okay, well.
Well, Belle, there's a line.
So, there you go.
There's a line, okay? It's
That's
20
getting
past
close.
6.
I'm sorry, but you said sick puppy, and yeah.
I think as a
I'm
show,
so
me and
sorry.
Liam formally apologise to everyone listening.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you didn't need to do it. Anon, sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh.
it's not right. Anyway, Nudes gone wrong. What happened?
So I was with my boyfriend at the time, and we went and visited my grandparents' house, and we were looking through the family album, and I was showing him photos of me and my siblings when we were young, and we came across a photo of my grandmother lying on the couch naked.
What?
That's not something you want to see.
Yeah, and that was in the family grandchildren album.
So, how did that get in there?
I could not tell you how it got in there, but that album got shut very quickly.
Yeah,
Wow.
that sounds like it should have gone in Granddad's sneaky album. He might have had bad eyes and just got mixed up when he was, arranging all the photos. Lee in Sydney, Nudes gone wrong.
Hey. So my hubby was away for a couple of days at a conference, and I was alone and taking some sexy, very raunchy selfies. I sent him those, not realising he was actually presenting at that time to the conference of 300 people with his computer hooked up to the big screen.
No!
no!
My bad.
So it popped up on the projector, basically.
On the projector at an IT conference. So 300
God.
men got to see everything.
And it would have the sound would have been like a first round knockout at the MGM Grand. Do you know what I mean? Like the eruption. 300 people. Like you are going, oh my God, what have I done with my life? I'm at an IT conference. I hate this. I hate everything about this. This is so boring. I've been here for days. And then all of a sudden, just a flurry of nudes from the poor guy presenting to start popping up on the projector. You'd be like,
Highlight of the weekend.
this is the best.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.